Welcome to the most must-see Berkshire League talk show in history. Welcome to The Rundown. I'm Cody Diz. Like the video right now. Smash that like button. Comment whatever you guys want. Comment what you guys want to see on this channel going forward. And please subscribe. We still have only about a fourth of our followers on the Instagram subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it if you guys could definitely hit that subscribe button. Tell your family all about it. Tell your friends. Tell anyone you have to. This is the first time you guys have seen me with kind of a new look. I got a new little do because, I figured might as well look a lot better. There's 4 games that we got to cover today, so let's not waste any time. Let's get right to it and enjoy the video today, guys. Let's go to Saturday's game between Gilbert and Thomaston. Gilbert met Thomaston on the road. Chad Suckley was the first one to score. He scored the first 5 points for Thomaston in his season debut after missing the first 3 games of the season due to torn ligaments in his ankle. Thomaston played well without him, but he's back. Dylan Crowley had another great game scoring-wise as he gets in for the layup. He actually had a triple-double in this matchup. And then Crowley came up and hit a really deep three-pointer. And then Chad Suckley pulled up with a mid-range jumper for an and-one finish. Keegan Daigle had a good game as well, taking the fast break and finishing at the rim. And then Mike Genovese had a nice open three-pointer. And Chad Suckley had an incredible drive and finish through the Gilbert defenders. There were 3 defenders there. And then Mike Genovese again hit a nice corner 3. He had a couple nice threes this game. Dylan Crowley found Aiden Roy crossed court, and Roy was able to finish the layup. And Thomaston came down the court, and Chad Suckley hit a nice corner 3 to take the lead. Sparked something for Thomaston. Crowley had an answer, though, as he gets the pass and nails the 3. Thomaston isn't done yet, as Chad finds Keegan Daigle for a nice post hook. And then Mike Genovese sealed the game with another corner 3. This was a really tough game for Gilbert, but they played really well. Thomaston was just able to get the win. Huge game out of Thomaston. Chad Suckley, welcome back. So Thomaston we're going to talk about a little later because they had another game. But for Gilbert, I'm going to talk about now. For them, they've honestly started to grow on me. Even with these losses that they've taken, they're losing to good teams. They've lost to Litchfield. They lost to Nonawog. They lost to Thomaston. And they lost to Northwestern. Those are 4 really good Berkshire League teams. It's tough because it's a short season, but somehow they got to make things work. I think they're doing a good job, even though their record hasn't shown it. Dylan Crowley is playing on a phenomenal level right now, and there was criticism earlier this week saying that, because he doesn't have a great supporting cast, that's the reason why he's put up these numbers. I don't fully believe that. I think even with a pretty good supporting cast, he would still be able to put up really good numbers. Maybe not as great as 30 points a game, but he would still be putting up at least 20-plus points a game, I would think. I mean, he's a tremendous player. He's really proved himself, and I'm going to fully back him up on that because, not everyone needs a supporting cast to, average, lower stats. I mean, Dylan, he may not have that type of supporting cast that, let's say, Northwestern does or Thomaston does, but in reality, he's just having a really good year. I don't think it's anything to do with his cast. I think either way, he would still be putting up great numbers, and I'll fully back him up on that just because, I've watched him play. I've watched every single game for, every team, and he's really been the one that I've kept an eye on because he's proved himself. He's proved that he can put up big numbers. I mean, you don't break the record, or you don't tie the Berkshire League scoring record just because you have a worse supporting cast than another. It's because you're a great player, and he had a really good night. So, and in this one he had a triple-double. So I mean, you can't really say that he's not dishing it off. You can't say that his supporting cast is weak. I think they're finally starting to find their roles. Aiden Roy has really improved. Anthony Carfero hasn't really shot as much, which I don't know if it could be a good thing or a bad thing, but they just kept it close with Thomaston in this one. That's tough. So I think Gilbert down the line, they might be a team to watch out for. They're a dark horse team, to me. And once everyone really, really knows their role, this Gilbert team might be dangerous, and Dylan Crowley might be on the verge of an MVP year. Who knows, though? Let's see what happens down the road. Let's go to a fun game, the Battle of the Winless, with Housatonic and Wamogo. And it started with an 11-0 run by the Warriors, as Charlie Coffey had two nice buckets to provide for Wamogo. And then a nice contested finish by him later on. He had a really good game. He had 12 points this game. He was not the leading scorer, though. Ethan Fenn drove in and finished the layup. And then Austin Byer had the best game for Housy. He had 16 points, had a nice three-pointer there. Liam Murphy found Russell Sears on a full-court pass, so he gets the layup. And then Ethan Fenn drives in and gets another finish at the rim. And then this play was creating controversy as Matt Thompson and Russell Sears got into it. Russ ended up having to get stitches in his chin as he's out for tonight's game versus the Kangaroos. Also might miss Friday as well. But we'll move on with Austin Byer hitting a nice jumper that sat around the rim for a while. Ivan Pascasio had a nice floater. And honestly, this is the best I've ever seen Housy. They've kept it close. They kept it close mostly this game. But Wamogo still was able to come out with the W and get their first win of the year. So Housy finally had things going for them. I did not expect this game to be close. I actually expected Wamogo to, even though they were both winless, I expected Wamogo to have a really, really good game. And, finally, prove that, they are this team that is still dominant from the last few years. They're just developing. They managed to get their first win on the year. Congratulations to Wamogo. For Housy, they really started to show me something. Honestly, I'm in full force saying give Austin Byer the ball because he had a really good night. I've been saying for the last couple of videos that Housy needs to find a primary scorer. I think Austin Byer might be the guy this year. This is a really good player. I mean, obviously Housy doesn't do everything right, and you'll miss a few shots here and there. But this is the first game that I've seen them actually play up to the level of another Berkshire League team in quite some time. Considering their only 2 wins last year were against outer league teams, and then this year you only have 12 games and they still are winless. So for Housy, I'm just thinking that this is going to be interesting to see what they do down the line. I think they should give Byer the ball more, though. I think that'll really help them. And I don't know. We'll just have to see where it goes for them. Wamogo, I really liked. I really enjoyed their game because I think, all in all, everyone's just learning, how to take over in the scoring column. Skylar King had a really good game. He was someone that I actually hadn't known about until maybe last game, because last game I think he had a decent game as well. But I mean, this Wamogo team's developing. Greg Hunt knows how to coach players who may not be at the top of the system yet, but they're learning, so that's a good thing. Charlie Coffey has been consistent this year too. He hasn't really done much to mess up. He's had a really good year. And it's been consistent. He may not average high numbers in the scoring column, but he always finds his teammates, and that's one thing that I can really commend him on. He's probably one of the best passers and one of the best finishers at the rim in the game. So Wamogo, just keep doing your thing. I mean, 1-3 obviously is not a great record, but I think they can improve on it, and I think down the line they're going to have a either 500 or above 500 record. Terryville went on the road to face Litchfield, and it was a really good game. Dominic Dow started off well and had a nice finish at the rim. And Harrison Barnes is a sharpshooter. He nailed another three-pointer. He's been really good shooting the ball this year. And then Dylan Machulis, Mr. All-BL himself, had a nice finish at the rim. Dominic Dow in an ISO is deadly as he hits his trademark mid-range step-back jumper. Incredible shot, and then he had a nice three-pointer. In the second half, Harrison Barnes starts things with the three from the wing, and then the next possession, Daniel Dyke found Barnes again for back-to-back threes. Dylan Machulis kept the fight going with a nice three over Daniel Dyke, and Dominic Dow goes toward the screen, pulls the three, and nails it. Although Daniel Dyke caught Terryville sleeping, and he hits a wide-open three, but Dylan Machulis still fighting, hit a deep contested three-pointer, but in the end, it was just not enough. And Thomaston was able to come out with, not even Thomaston, my bad. Litchfield was able to come out with the win over Terryville. So it was nice to be able to see Daniel Dyke finally come out and have a really good game. I mean, 30 points, career high. He was hitting a lot of good shots. He was getting to the basket a lot. He only hit one three-pointer all game, but he was just on another level. He was getting to the line a lot, which is something I've noticed he's really good at, is getting to the free throw line, and he's not afraid of taking contact on finishes, because I've noticed that some players in this league, they just don't want to take the contact. It seems like as if they're not trying to get involved with someone down low. But Dyke has no problem with it. He's athletic. He's a great finisher, and I don't know. I think sky's the limit for him. I mean, this might be the best or the only year that he gets a chance to really show what he is as a player. So for him, I just want him to go out firing, because he is a senior. Harrison Barnes had another good game. Had three three-pointers. He's a really good shooter. If you get him the ball a good amount, he's gonna put up big numbers, I think. Litchfield's been a team to watch out for. I figured Litchfield was gonna be lower, but they're off to a really great start, and they're playing some really good teams. And we'll just have to see down the road what happens with them. With Terryville, now I believe they're 1-2, so this is a tough thing for them. I think they're still a good team. Dylan Machulis is having a really good year. Dom Dow's having a good year. But around them, it doesn't seem like they're having much happen. I mean, this game against Litchfield was close. Litchfield's a good team. But I think Terryville's just got a lot of different stuff to continue working on. Some open shots they weren't able to hit. But for the most part, they played a good game, and I think this is just a tough loss. Terryville will bounce back, no doubt about it. And Dylan Machulis is in the running right now for MVP talks, I think, because he's proved himself. He's averaging over 20 points a game, and, he's led this team really well. Let's finish that night off with Thomaston and Sheehan. Owen Hibbard had another great scoring night as he drives in and gets the and one. Chad Suckley hit a three-pointer coming down, and then Nate Scarola gets the ball, passes the defender, and beats the buzzer to close the half. This is probably the fourth or fifth buzzer beater we've seen this year from the Berkshire League. Mike Parachi drives in and had a nice finish at the rim, and then Owen Hibbard gets a nice catch and shoot three, and Hibbard again had the ball dribbled up, steps back, hits the jumper. Cole Davenport found Mike Parachi, who hit a nice post hook
And then Owen Hibbard got a steal and finished the fast break layup. Owen Hibbard took over in the second half. I mean, he took one down for a fast break and made it, and then had a pull-up jumper and nailed it. Later on, Cole Davenport found Hibbard for a nice three-pointer. He took over. There's a reason he's the MVP frontrunner this year, as Owen Hibbard and Sheehan beat Thomaston.
So for Thomaston, now that they have Chad Suckley back, this is going to be a really, really good team. But they just went up against a really tough Sheehan squad. Owen Hibbard has continued to have a really good year. There's a reason why he's the front runner for the MVP right now, because he's averaging high numbers in the point column, and it's not even just that he's just taking over and scoring, but he's also able to find his teammates well. He's a good passer. He's good at everything he does. Steals wise, he's gotten a lot of steals this year. So this is just going to be a great, great season down the line for him. And Mike Parachi finally got something going for him too. 18 and 10, pretty good night for Parachi. I definitely want to see a lot more of him in the high scoring numbers, definitely, but he had a really good game. Owen had a good game. Sheehan was just a better matchup. That was a really fun game to watch, honestly. It was nice seeing Chad and Owen go at it. Honestly, for Thomaston, I don't know what to say for them. I mean, that was a tough game, but I was surprised that, they didn't get the ball to Chad enough, I feel, because now that he's back, you got to let him fire. I think you got to let him just go at people, let him do his own thing. I mean, yeah, he was injured, and you got to kind of slow those things up sometimes, but he's ready. Keegan Daigle's finally having a really good middle of the season. And I can't wait to see what happens down the line with him. And this roster is deep. I mean, Ty Harkness is coming off the bench after starting a couple games for Chad. This is a good Thomaston team. And I think down the line, they're just all going to need to, start hitting some open shots and be able to know their roles. This is a good team, though. And I'm still going with them as a top team. Or at least a top 2 team now. I mean, Northwestern's really proved themselves too. So for now, I'm going to say Thomaston is going to be a top 2 team.
Time now for the top 5 plays from the last couple of days, as number 5 is Chad Suckley getting an and 1 jumper to fall versus Gilbert. He had a great game to start off his season. Number 4, Ethan Fenn. He's going to dribble through a Wamogo defender and get a baseline floater to fall. Housy finally got a highlight play this year. Number 3, Nate Scarola gets the pass. He passes his defender, pulls it, and beats the first half buzzer. Number 2, Chad Suckley finishes through 3 different Gilbert defenders to get the finish. Beautiful finish. And then number 1, Dominic Dow. ISO mid-range step-back jumper is money. Dow had a really good game. And those are your top 5 plays from the last couple days.
That'll do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video. Smash that like button repeatedly until all of your fingers and your thumbs fall off. Even if you have to use your toes too, use those. Just smash that like button as much as possible. Comment to see what else you guys want to see on this channel. We're trying to think of big things ahead. Trying to do as much as we can. And please subscribe. I'm going to set a subscriber goal. Let's hit, how about we hit 10 new subscribers for today. And then there's going to be another video coming out most likely tomorrow because there's 4 games on heading into tonight. So you'll see me again tomorrow. So please, please, please like the video, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen.